updates and be part of our conversation squad.
Fake news is really the pandemic of our times. And there's a reason why I say that. I'm in active public life now. As head of social media, I combat a lot of fake news. But as a citizen of this country, and even as a journalist in my previous avatar, I think fake news is something that we've all got to battle with. It's being served on a platter. You wake up in the morning, you want to check your WhatsApp, 9 out of 10 will be misinformation, will be fake news, will be propaganda. TV channels will show you propaganda, but let me first just show you some pictures. And I'll urge you to see the pictures on the side screens because that will give you a better view. Just these pictures so that we know exactly what we are talking about. This is a picture of Mahatma Gandhi dancing with a woman. And this picture has been on the net for multiple years. Just see this picture here. Mahatma Gandhi dancing with a woman and all kinds of allegations being laid against him. Today happens to be Gandhi Jayanti. Today happens to be a day where no matter what you say and no matter what you do, no matter how much you stand with Godse, ultimately for legitimacy you have to bow before Gandhi. But we say Mahatma Gandhi was doing all kinds of shady things. One of them was dancing here with a woman. But this man is not Gandhi. This man is an Australian actor who went to a Met Gala dressed up as Gandhi. This is fake news number one. Here's another fake news. There is a very, very famous picture. If you see this picture of Bapu with Panditji, it's an extremely famous picture. I see it in many offices, I see it on social media, I see it in many places. But you must have also seen this picture. And this picture has been forged by simply replacing Jawaharlal Nehru with a very pretty woman. Is Gandhi kissing her? Is Gandhi in physical proximity with her? No, he is not. Why is this being done? Because this is fake news that weaponizes the attack against Gandhi. This is the fake news that people use to say, why should he not be Mahatma? Why should he not be father of the nation? And multiple other things. There's another picture that I'm carrying. It's not very clear, but I hope you can see through this. This is the picture of Jawaharlal Nehru seemingly kissing a woman, and this was tweeted for the first time by my counterpart in the BJP, and several BJP ministers and MPs retweeted, reposted these pictures across social media. What a womanizer Nehru was. Because here he's kissing this woman, and here he's kissing another one. But who are these women? Why is he kissing these women? Was Nehru a womanizer? No. One of them happens to be his sister, and the other his niece. There's Vijay Lakshmi Pandit in one picture, and one picture has his niece Nayanthara Sehgal, and still these pictures are used by authorized position holders of the BJP to spread the fake news propaganda against independent India's first Prime Minister, to defile him, to assassinate reputations. I have another picture here, and this came to me, and I battled with it when I had become the head of social media in the Congress. It has two pictures. This is a picture from Bharat Jodo Yatra. On my right is the picture of a girl who walked up to Rahul Gandhi. She hugged him. This is in Kerala. Her name is Meeva Jolly. There's another picture right here. Is of a girl called Amulya Leona. And she, at a certain stage and on some mic, had spoken about Pakistan Zindabad. But the same BJP official handles Facebook and Twitter, their MPs, their ministers, and the head of their IT cell, which I call the fake news factory, the biggest in the world. They tweeted this picture saying that Rahul Gandhi shares center stage and lets a woman who said Pakistan Zindabad come and join him in the yatra. Whereas she is actually a student union leader from Kerala. Her name is Meeva Jolly. This girl is Amulya Leona. Do women look so similar? But this was fake news. And why was it spread? Because somehow they had to beat down the yatra. I'm not even going to go into the historical fake news that has been spread against Mrs. Gandhi or against Rahulji. I'm just going to talk about relevant things that you have seen in the very recent past, in less than a year. Here's another picture. Some of you who practice Hinduism and do the Aarti is done in a clockwise fashion. That's how one has been taught to do the aarti. That's exactly how this aarti was being done. I'm carrying a static, but if you see the video, that's how the aarti is being done. The IT cell head of the BJP and one of its most powerful ministers tweeted this picture, actually the video, and said Rahul Gandhi is a Chunavi Hindu, he does not know how to do aarti. But guess what? These people would have failed in class 7th physics exams. Because in class 7th, I was taught that there is something called lateral inversion. P appears a 9 and 9 appears a P. So if you are doing a clockwise representation of the aarti, it will appear in the anti-clockwise fashion. That's how camera and that's how physics works. Poor guys don't know about it. You know how did they course correct? Is when I started putting pictures of Mr. Modi doing aartis, it's only then they backed off. Because I said, do your guys also not know how to do the aarti? These are just things that I'm telling you how fake news and why is it being spread. Here's another picture, and I hate to put this picture in front of you. This is a picture of Rahul Gandhi with his niece, Miss Priyanka Gandhi's daughter. She's a private citizen. I'm not going to talk much about her. This is a picture. He was sharing a light-hearted moment with her. The Tamil Nadu unit of the BJP had some very nasty things to say about that. I'm only putting it to make you think that they are not going to spare your relatives, your nieces, your nephews, your daughters, your sons. Nothing is going to be spared. Here is a picture. India's most decorated women athletes sat in protest, leveled sexual exploitation charges against one of BJP's MPs. The Delhi police filed a charge sheet and has recently told the courts that he did not miss a single opportunity to harass women. These women were arrested, beaten up brutally, and when they were being taken to the police station, some of them were crying. A deep fake video of the BJP IT cell put out their pictures as smiling widely and said these women are enjoying themselves, they are no martyrs, this is no sexual exploitation. This is what they did. Thank God for the propaganda being busted, because this was a deep fake of several women crying with tears, and a deep fake converting those tears, those inverted smiles into white smiles and telling how happy they were. Here's something that I usually don't share personally, but I must. There's a journalist by the name of Sheila Bhatt. In her prime, she was an investigative journalist. She has apparently interviewed Dawood Ibrahim. There was a Twitter trend that was doing the rounds a few days back, and the trend said, put a picture of your past life and what you must have done in your 30s or something like that. She put out this picture. This picture is her sitting with Dawood Ibrahim in 1987. There's a reason why I'm sharing this picture with you. Because authorized handles of the BJP, their fake news factory said this was me. I was born in 1977. I was 10 years old in 87. I may have been very smart, but I was not battling with the crocodiles like a certain somebody was. So this wasn't me, but this was on WhatsApp, this was on social media, this was everywhere. And the social media platforms had to eventually call it out. But this is the BJP for you. Here's the 2,000 rupee note. 7 saal chala, ab chala gaya hai. This is the note. You remember the chip? And you remember how you were being told that wherever you stock it, people will identify it because this is the note, and this has a chip, and this is being done to bring all the black money back and all of it. The cost of printing this note and the new series of 500 rupee notes is far higher than the money recovered. But this was a Tughlaki Farman that happened, a fake news that was propagated all over. Nobody is going to be spared. None at all. This is a very interesting picture. I think this is a Saudi prince who had come to meet Mr. Modi. But the BJP's IT cell, the 2 rupee trolls, how could they see a man wear a white robe that the Arabs do? So he was dressed in the Ram Navami. That's what we call it in UP. I don't know what it's called here, but this is the Ram Navami. This is the fake news that I'm talking about. And the question that I'm raising is, why is it dangerous? Are these things dangerous? Yes, they are. And I'll tell you why. They are dangerous because they are being done for a purpose. And there are some numbers that I want to share with you. And we can then talk how dangerous they are and why must we talk about fake news and why do I say it's the biggest pandemic and the biggest menace of our times. There are 60 crore, over 60 crore and counting active internet users in this country. 60 crore. There are about 50 crore, 54 crore WhatsApp users in this country. WhatsApp, which is the single biggest contribution of this regime, that's the biggest fake news factory that has been set up, the biggest university, if you may call it, but 54 crore active WhatsApp users, 52 crore active Instagram users, 50 crore active Facebook users, 39 crore active Telegram users, and 35 crore active Facebook Messenger users. And mind you, the overlap between these platforms is 10 to 15%. So it's not as if that the same person who's using Facebook is also using Instagram, is also using Messenger, or is also using Telegram. There is a wide Indian audience which is being served fake news every single day, from the moment they wake up to when they retire for the day. And why is it happening? And in fact, I have the 5 questions that we ask. Who's doing it? Why is it being done? How is it being done? What is its impact? And which are the tools that you have to bust some of them? And is fake news being done by anonymous trolls? I don't think so. I think fake news is being spread by some of the most prominent BJP leaders. When Twitter launched the manipulated media tag for posts that were erroneous or were not true entirely, multiple BJP leaders, some of whom I battle with every day on air, had the distinction and had the distinguished privilege to be the ones who were putting out manipulated media. When I remember in Udaipur 2 years back, when the whole massacre happened and these 2 men killed a tailor, Kanhaiya Kumar, and Rahul Gandhi was parallelly giving a statement in Wayanad. His office was vandalized by certain left student union leaders. He gave a statement and he said, "These are boys, I forgive them. You know, we need to talk to them. It's all right, I forgive them." That statement from Wayanad was picked up by Rajyavardhan Rathore, who fancies himself as the new chief minister if ever the BJP comes to power in Rajasthan, and he put it out saying that Rahul Gandhi is forgiving the killers of Kanhaiya Kumar in Udaipur. What does this do? Why are we spreading fake news? Why are we witnessing the onslaught of fake news? It's being done to deepen the prejudices and deepen the biases that exist. It's being done with a clear motive to assassinate reputations. It's being done with a clear motive to discredit. It's being done with a clear motive to divide and deepen the divides that exist in our society and amongst our people. There is no other reason why fake news is being spread. And one of the biggest reasons why fake news is being spread is because the real issues have become untenable for those in power to answer. You ask them questions on price rise, on unemployment, on income inequality, on Manipur, there are no answers. And so the best thing to do is distract, divert, and make them focus on some fake news. We are working in Bharat Jodo Yatra, somebody is tying Rahul Gandhi's shoes. Guess what? He wasn't even wearing lace shoes, so what were they tying? He was tying his own shoe. That's the level of fake news that happens. I'm shocked to say, and I was anguished to learn that the Namo app, which is the Prime Minister's app, has been called out for posting and propagating fake news. Where does the solution lie? So I think we've answered the first question, who and why is it being done? I think how is it being done? It's coming on your WhatsApp. Prime time television channels do television debates, 12 people in a window on a fake news. It gets called out the next day. Have you seen a single television news anchor or editor come online and say, we got the story completely wrong, we were misled, this story is not right? In fact, even the government has disowned this story? No. The damage has been done. You made 12 people fight in a window, shout over each other, it's done. The fake news has been cemented. People, when you travel in the country, will quote that fake news to you and also say, falane channel par dekha tha. So that's how it's being dished out. There is a very systematic effort to reach your bedrooms. There's a very systematic effort to reach your living rooms and dish out fake news. It's being done to discredit reputations. If my reputation stands tattered, then what credibility do I have if I'm speaking about unemployment or price rise? Here's somebody who doesn't know a thing. And that's what they do. Big money, big effort, and may I dare say, big media houses have been at play here. Is all lost? Can we do anything about this? If you can put up that picture of Mahatma Gandhi, if it's possible. There's a picture I'm carrying, and before we put it up, let me just put this out for you. Even if you're a minority of one, the truth is the truth. That's the power of truth. No matter what you say, no matter what you hear, no matter what the fake news, ultimately the truth shines through. And which is where I come to, and before we take the questions, I come to what is happening on fake news. There are various fact checkers that the government hates absolutely. From Boom to Factly to SM Hoax to Alt News. Some of the TV news networks also have their own fact-checking units. I wish they were fact-checking more of their on-air content than fact-check things on social media. But yes, there are fact-checkers. I think we all owe it to them to make contributions, to make them viable. I owe a lot of clarity in terms of fake news and propaganda busting to some of these fact-checkers. Me checking fact news, I come from a political party, is going to be seen as one thing, but a third party doing is different. So I think as much as we can, we need to support them. We need to amplify their fact checks. We need to contribute for them to be viable. But what can we do on our own? You are a part of 200 people in your college alumni, and a fake news is being propagated there. There are only two options you have. You either stand up and say this is fake news and you fact check it yourself, or you stay quiet and say I don't want to be singled out or called out by these bunch of people here. I think eventually it is up to us. Are we willing to be party? Are we willing to be propagandists? Are we willing to be a part of the herd that's going to blindly follow, amplify, or keep quiet on fake news? Or are we just going to get up, put in a fact there, and muddy the waters? I hear this a lot of things, and I'm going to wrap this up and then open up for questions. I hear this a lot. Why do you guys go on TV channels? It's so biased. The anchor is biased. The BJP spokesperson is biased. They make a political expert who's actually an RSS guy sit. The three of them together don't come up with facts the way we do. So we go and muddy the waters. We go and plant a doubt. When they say India is growing at blah, blah, blah %, we simply say, and what is your purchasing power parity? We simply say, what is the level of unemployment? We simply ask, what is the last recorded inflation? I think these are questions that need to be asked. It's very simple to bust fake news. You'll be singled out. You may be called out by your own peers, by your own family members on that group, or your friends, or your college alumni. It may happen. But I think the satisfaction of speaking the truth towers above anything that comes our way. At least that's how I feel. That's the motto I follow. No matter which group I am in, no matter which gathering I am in, I am not going to look the other way if I know somebody is lying to my face just because there is a motive behind this. I stand up and I say the truth. And once you speak the truth, there's nothing that you fear. So I do think that one of the biggest tools that you have is that you can call out fake news, because most of you, and I say this, the level of questions that have happened in various debates and discussions, most of you are very well aware. You know what is fake, you know what is true. So calling it out is important. And why do we need to do this? We simply need to do this because we owe it to our country. It's the future of our republic that rests on propaganda, on fake news, on misinformation being weaponized. I have just spoken about reputation assassination here. Fake news has led to people losing their lives. In 2018 alone, and that's the last recorded data, 30 people died due to fake news on WhatsApp forwards. Mass lynchings have happened. because of fake news on apprehension of somebody carrying some kind of meat or the other kind of meat, which turned out to be fake. So people have lost their lives. There have been riots due to fake news. People have been beaten up due to fake news. And fake news has today reached a level where if you're traveling in a train and you disagree with someone, one of railway's own armed guards is going to stand up and shoot you because you don't agree with him. That's where fake news has resulted in. So I think if we do, and I know this audience does believe, if we do believe that free and fair elections means that biases don't exist, free and fair elections is not just going and voting there. Free and fair elections is you get to make an informed choice. And that informed choice is compromised with the flood of fake news that comes your way. And so I will really urge this audience to stand up, muddy the waters, call out fake news, because it is really the pandemic of our times. There is no vaccine for it. You are the vaccine. Thank you.
Thank you, Supriya. And shall we open your session for question and answer?
Sure, absolutely.
We'll take one question after the other. Yes, the first hand here.
Ma'am, I'd like to bring up a point that was brought up by the previous speaker. It's about how the India Party still continue to fund a lot of these channels, right? So if you are deciding to not put your panelists over there, why do parties still continue to fund them? Is there some hope that funding them you will be able to get some sort of neutrality while the BJP is now shifting towards influencers?
So without giving out too much of my strategy, I can only tell you that we don't act in isolation. I think we've taken a very informed choice. It was a choice that was led with empirical data and evidence. How much time were we given? What were the show astons? What was the show topic? Who were the kind of people on the show? How much time was opposition as well as the treasury benches given? So we've taken a very informed decision, and the decision is very simple. We are not boycotting the media. We are not against media. You want to propagate hate, you want to deeply divide societies, do that. But I'm not going to sit there and be cannon fodder, and I'm not going to sit there and legitimize your show. Do that in my absence. I'm not holding your hands. If you want to be operated by a WhatsApp forwards by someone sitting in the PMO, and a very lowly officer at that, it's up to you. So I think that's an informed choice that we've made. You will give us the credit that we are not naive to just boycott their debates. Unless you don't cut the purse strings, nothing really results. So give us the credit for follow-up action as well.
Yes, the girl at the back.
Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Where is she? Hi.
I am Mahati. May I know why can't we spread the truth like wildfire, like they are doing with the fake news? Where are we failing?
Sorry, why can't we spread?
If we can spread fake news like a wildfire, where are we failing to spread the truth?
Because fake news by its very nature and by its very constitution is based on prejudice. It is based on the fact that we like gossip as human beings. It is based on the fact that we are a magnet for anything being spoken against a certain community. So fake news by its very nature spreads faster. But to your point, why are we not spreading the truth? I think in the last 1 or 2 years, we don't take fake news lying down. We call it out each time. And I think the nature of fake news has gone down. The blatant way in which the BJP was putting out fake news has gone down. It's a tough ordeal, because please remember, BJP has more money. The ruling establishment has more money than God can print. They get 98% of all electoral bonds. The rest of the opposition gets 2%. So money is a huge factor. These are very, very expensive things and tools that they deploy to spread fake news. But I also think there is no power on earth greater and stronger than the absolute truth, and the truth does come out. To your point, I think we're making a lot of effort. I urge people like you to also stand up.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hi, ma'am. It's actually amazing to see you live today apart from TV. My question is, fake news is one side. A lot of times I see in the debate you're put forward with this whataboutery. How do you deal with that? Like a lot of whataboutery is put in front of you. How do you deal
bring them back to the core issue. You bring them back to the issue that yes, you have done the women's reservation bill. We stood with you. We had promised we will support it. Why are you not going to make it a reality before 2029 or actually 2039 if you look at Article 82 and 81(3) of the Constitution? So you bring them back to the topic. There is one thing that my opponents don't have. They don't have facts and they never have the truth. If you give them numbers, if you quote data, they step back. So I think whataboutery, for instance on Manipur, I mean I'm a woman, I will still say it, on instance on Manipur, you know, women, any crime against women, it doesn't matter whether it's in Rajasthan, it's in Chhattisgarh, it's in Bihar, Bengal, UP, Madhya Pradesh, it doesn't matter. The fact that gruesome crime continues to happen against half this country's population while we celebrate 76 years of Indian independence tells you how much we still have to cover. What still do we need to do for our women? But does Manipur compare to anything that's happening in any other part of the country? I mean, we sat for 78 days till a horrific video came to light and only then was action taken. Is it true? And I'm even naming the BJP states. Has it happened in any other state of this country? And the whataboutery was, I mean, we live in times today where television news editors and anchors were more worried about why has the video come today and not the fact that there was such a video that existed, that's such a gruesome crime that happened. So whataboutery is one thing. You bring them back to facts, and I think we try and do it. It's in a very skewed, biased media environment, but one keeps making an effort.
Yes, a very short question pointed.
Hello, ma'am. So,
Are my answers too long? I'll just keep them crisp.
Sorry.
hello, ma'am.
Are
So,
my answers too long? I'll just keep them crisp.
so Congress has been focusing on, a lot of issues which, at least in your view, are of an interest for, a layman. But however, my question specifically here is, does your manifesto, emphasize explicitly on electoral reforms, police reforms, administrative reforms, governance reforms, let's say RTI, as we are talking about truth right now? I mean, it has to be a both side thing, right? I mean, RTI and electoral bonds, as you've rightly mentioned here. So your stand, however, these issues might, pertain to a very microscopic minority, and this might not be a very appealing fact. But in my view, there is this microscopic minority which has its own way to, support Congress, which, not just support Congress, and it's in a larger good of the nation, right? So I just wanted to know if this is in your manifesto or not.
On the face of it, you may say that it pertains to a very microscopic minority, but the reality is the issues that you mentioned do shape and do decide the direction in which our democracy is going to go into. So these are not very minor, these are not very small issues. Yes, these are issues on which we need to have far wider consultation. These are issues that one can only decide on when one is in power. But, the reason why the Congress is talking about issues that pertain to the common people, and I don't think there's anybody common or layman, I think the issues that pertain to vast multitudes of our people is because there is a huge issue. People are struggling with high prices. Add to that the fact that there is unemployment. 47% people in this country, almost half the percentage of people in this country have either not, paid their premium on insurances, life insurances, or have surrendered them. That tells you the level of economic disparity and ruin there is. So I agree with you that yes, we are focusing on some of the issues that matter to the large multitudes on the face of it, but the other issues that you speak about really decide the fate and future of our democracy. So I don't think one takes that lying down or, that's not priority. It's just that those are issues that one doesn't want to articulate their views on every single day because those are issues that are legislative in nature, so one has to sit down and then sort of do it.
Yes, you have the mic. Go ahead.
Madam. Madam, it's been absolute delight to see you here right now. Here,
Hi.
I think communal slur or hatred has grown multifold into the last 10 years, especially in the BJP government. Bharat Jodo Yatra has brought some harmony and unity together. How your party will do when you come to power to bring back the unity or the brotherhood that India is known for?
I have a slightly nuanced view on this. You're absolutely right. I think the divisions have been deepened. I think the biases have been built further. I think prejudices have been fanned. But why is this happening? It's the core ideology of the ruling establishment today. That's one part of it. And I disagree with my esteemed previous speaker because, yes, we can keep debating the constitution, but homogeneity is exactly what they're trying to do. So one can't, dissociate the two. But to the other point, I think I'm extremely conscious of the fact that most of these things are happening more because the government is failing on governance. The fact that unemployment is their Achilles heel, the fact that a large percentage of youth in this country does not have jobs or gainful unemployment is making people, these are distractions, if you ask me. I think an economy or a society that has gainful employment, that has good governance, will see far less of this. There is a crowd of 100 people, they'll shout slogans and beat up each other, but if these people were gainfully employed, we'll see far few instances of this. So I think economy and these go hand in hand. A lot of it is a reflection of and a distraction from failing in the real core issues of governance.
The gentleman in the second row.
My question is to the organizers. I have listened to 7 speakers today. All 7 speakers were speaking anti-BJP. Now, my question is, as if you were running an agenda for being anti-BJP, would it not have been fair for you to invite at least one person to defend these 7 people?
Our agenda at Manthan is to pursue truth.
No,
That's
truth. Please, truth cannot be one-sided.
Supriya will answer.
Truth cannot be one-sided.
I will just step in, sir. I have been a journalist in my previous avatar. With all due respect to what you say, and I absolutely agree, I think public discourse should have both sides representing. Public discourse should have a healthy debate. Public discourse should not be reduced to mudslinging and calling each other names. But the reality is, you say they are anti-BJP people. You tell me anything that I have said anti-BJP which is not factual. Point out one thing that I have said which is not factual. One thing. And I will also say, sir, one more thing. The BJP, by its very nature, does not like to debate. They will not come to this platform even if they had been invited.
No, it is not true, madam. And one more thing, I can't vouch for the veracity of whatever you have stated.
You can check. You can absolutely check.
I cannot check it right now on the spot. It is always fair that you should have invited at least one person to
I'm not the organizer.
Excuse me, sir. Just to tell you how inclusive we are, I gave you the mic for this question because I was expecting that kind of a question from you.
But sir, please feel free to go back on YouTube, check the veracity of every single word that I have said. You can take my number and call me back if I have said anything that's untrue. And I say that with a lot of confidence.
I think this gentleman is forgetting that at the last Manthan, we had Ovaisi speaking at this platform, and we had Ram Madhav here. Yes. So please, get your facts right, just as Supriya has told you.
Chandra.
You guys don't rely on facts, you just speak through your hat.
It's okay.
Yes.
Chandra, I'll ask you a question.
Yes. One sec. He's already taken the mic. Then Vikram. I can't say no to Vikram. He'll throw me out.
Hi, ma'am. My name is Faisal Halim, and I have a quick question. So, just before going to ask the question, ma'am, I want to see you in Parliament. So, my question is: Are you going to fight upcoming Lok Sabha election?
Yes, certainly. I hope to. I cater a constituency in Uttar Pradesh called Maharajganj, a sleepy little town. I work in that constituency. It's right next to Gorakhpur, so I certainly hope to.
Yeah, ma'am, because I'm from Uttar Pradesh, that's why I'm asking, ma'am.
Which part of Uttar Pradesh are you from? Which part of Uttar Pradesh are you from?
Ma'am, Lucknow.
Oh, very good. I was born and raised in Lucknow.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
you. Vikram?
Yeah. Is this fake news pandemic unique to India, or isn't it a global phenomenon? And if it is unique to India, are we a gullible nation?
It is not unique to India. It's a phenomena that the world is witnessing. It's a phenomena that has disrupted democracies around the world. The reason why we are perhaps a little more vulnerable is because internet is a newer phenomena in India than it is in some of the developed economies of the world. But it's a phenomena that the world is witnessing. I care a lot about my democracy, and which is why I focus on it. But yeah, we are gullible. We are absolutely vulnerable. If my electoral choice is going to be decided by the morning WhatsApp forward that comes to me, which is not true, then I think there's a huge compromise on my democracy itself. And I'm not even wearing my political hat to say that.
There's a young girl here. I'm always looking for girls asking questions. Take the mic to her.
Ma'am, now that the fake news is advanced stage, but before 2014 also, I've heard fake news that Indira Gandhi ji's husband was a Muslim. So this was way before 2014 when BJP was not in power. So why then government could not come forward or deal with it?
So I will answer that question because I think this is a very personal question but needs to be tackled with. I think the fact that her husband was a Hindu or a Muslim or a Parsi doesn't really matter. But why distort his identity? Her husband was a Parsi. She was married to Firoz Gandhi. They had 2 sons, Rajiv Gandhi and Sanjay Gandhi. So when the Prime Minister gets up in Parliament and says कि ये Nehru name क्यों नहीं लगाते हैं, Gandhi क्यों लगाते हैं, he either doesn't understand the culture of this country or he doesn't understand the very basis of Indian families and Indian societies. You take your father's name. I mean, I took my father's name, and which is why I'm called what I'm called. I'm presuming Mr. Modi also took his father's name. In fact, his middle name is his father's name, with all due respect to him, and which is why he's miscalled Mr. Narendra Damodar Das Modi. To your larger point, it's not just the fact that Miss Indira ji's husband was a Muslim. It doesn't really matter. I mean, is it a crime to be a Muslim? But he wasn't. So why distort his identity? Is it a crime to be married to a woman who took India as her heart and soul? And that's Mrs. Gandhi for you. But I don't think that's the debate. I think the debate is, why did we not react to it earlier? I take your point 100%. The BJP may have not been in power, but the RSS and the BJP have a huge whisper campaign way in which they work. I think the Congress needs to be blamed to a certain extent. I think the Congress thought, you know, this is a phenomena which shall pass. I don't think they assessed before 2014 how deep, how vulgar the political discourse is going to get. I don't think today politicians treat each other as political opponents. You are sworn enemies. I think the language that is being spoken in Parliament or by ministers or, you know, MPs out of Parliament is language that one had never thought one would hear. Would you ever think that one MP is going to call actually communal slurs to another MP? No. But that's what is happening, and I think, yes, the Congress took its eye off the ball. I don't know if it was goodness of heart which made them believe, you know, isse kharab nahi hoga. I don't know. But I think they should have reacted. If they had done what we are doing now, things would have been very different.
Yes, you have the mic.
Yeah, so my question is, like, people, even like educated ones, like I have graduated and I have a lot of friends even in my university. So whenever I talk about like the things which are going on, so they be like, you know, we don't care, we are not even political, Pragya, why are you so political? Like, what is it? So I am saying that, like, even if I say that it is a fake news or something, so they say that we don't even care. So it is like what to do with those people? They don't even want to listen. And the fake news thing is that people people are concerned when it is about them only. Like, I am from Haryana, so when there was like farmers bill, so everyone was like, yeah, we are like against it. They don't even know. Like, most of them didn't even know what is the farm bill actually is. So they were just supporting it like out of just like they were anti-BJP, or even they were opposing it.
Yeah, we've got your question.
Yeah, thank you.
So Pragya, I think the first thing that you must underline for your life is be fearlessly you. Because that is what is going to change this world. Your friends who don't believe in politics or are apolitical will not. If you continue to be fiercely you, you are going to make a difference. I also think, I mean, this is not unique to you, this is not unique to your friends. That's how human beings are. We don't react to things unless they don't happen to us. A man is being beaten up on the road, we're not going to react to it unless we know that man or it begins to happen to us. We don't react to agitations or riots unless our colonies start getting burnt down. We don't react to university fee being hiked unless our fee is being hiked. That's how human beings are. You can't blame them. But I strongly disagree with the statement that I see a lot of people make that, we are not political. Everything is eventually about the policies that political parties and politicians in parliament make. So you may not be political, but you are going to be deeply impacted by the actions of those few who sit in parliament and legislate. So you might as well be politically aware, even if you're not political, make informed choices. I think eventually it's about making informed choices. Try and change the people around you, but in the process, never get changed yourself. So be fearlessly you. You made a very interesting observation that people did not know about the farm bills and they were either supporting or denouncing. I can give it to you in writing today, that half the television anchors who were doing TV debates every day on it had not read one paragraph of the farm bills, but they debated it for a year.
Yes, you have the mic, so.
Hello. Hello, ma'am.
Hi.
So, let's say the India Alliance...
I love the fact there are so many young people here.
Yeah. So, let's say that the India Alliance comes into power. So, now the fourth pillar of democracy is in a very devastated situation. We have the Godi media, we have the fake news in social medias, and now we have the influencers as well. So, let's say that you come into power. What would you do to, I don't want to use the word control, but to face this situation? Because you can't intervene with the free speech, right? So how would you go about it?
So I don't think at any point free speech should be compromised. I think journalists, media organizations should always have the right, the liberty, and the courage to ask questions. And questions should be asked of the ruling establishment, whether we are in the treasury benches or somebody else's, because you have the power, you have the resources, you have the institutions at your beck and call. So I don't think free speech would ever be compromised with. But I do believe, and I will take a step back and talk about while I was a journalist, I think corporate control of media is one of the big reasons why we have seen the decline in the quality of content, in the quality of journalism, in the quality of television shows. Please understand one thing. There are companies for whom profits are 20,000, 40,000 crore rupees. Profits, I'm saying. They don't care about a 600 crore channel venture. For them, that channel is a means to please those in power. For them, the channel or the newspaper or the TV shows are about currying favors with the government to get the big contracts in their main businesses, whether it's oil and gas, whether it's telecom, whether it's airports, sports. This is a, in Hindi they call it chiller change. This is petty cash. This is petty change for them. So I think corporate control of media is something that we as a society, we as a country, we need to debate. How much of corporate control should our media have? Should they exercise? Because that does compromise the quality of the fourth pillar of democracy. Questions are not being asked on issues that really matter. What would we do? I don't think we would encourage hounding the opposition. I don't think we will imprison journalists because he reports that in Mirzapur, in the midday meal, children were served roti and salt. I don't think I would put sedition law against a 21-year-old climate activist and say that she was conspiring with Greta Thunberg. I don't think we'll do things like that. I hope we do things differently. But I also think the culture emanates right from the top. So if you are open to media scrutiny, the media is going to focus on you. Is this present government open to media scrutiny? Close to 10 years in governance. The Prime Minister has not done a single press conference. Forget about anything else. I mean, the questions that he's asked is, आप आम कैसे खाते हैं? आप बटुआ रखते हैं कि नहीं रखते हैं? Tonic पीते हैं, थक जाते हैं. So that's the level of media dialogue in this country. I was very amused to see a certain television anchor. There was some news that was doing the rounds that Mr. Modi had donated some money. It doesn't matter. Whatever little you donate or high you donate, it doesn't matter. But that television anchor took it upon herself to explain to people how gaddi bana ke kaise thoos rahe. I mean, is this journalism? Am I watching prime time to know this?
We can accommodate all your questions, all those who have raised your hands, if Supriya agrees to miss her flight.
No, I won't miss my flight. It's 7, it's 5:30. I'll leave
so
at 6.
So we can take another 4
Yeah,
questions?
sure.
Good. So, there's one gentleman at the back who's gotten tired of having his hand up. The man in the light blue, yes. There's one more here. Yeah, the men.
Hello,
gave
ma'am.
it to the wrong person, but okay, doesn't matter. Go ahead. One sec.
Ma'am, when you were in power and BJP was in opposition, Even when you increased 1 paisa in petrol, they made heaven and earth to move, madam. But when you are in opposition, for the past, I don't see any kind of dharnas, any kind of oppositions. Why? My father used to say, he was a great fan of Indira Gandhi. Indira Gandhi was a Shakti when she was in power. But when she was a Mahashakti when she was in opposition for 3 years. Why don't you see that opposition in you?
That's an interesting question and a question that I get asked very often. So let me answer it in the best possible way I can. Today, forget about 1 rupee costly for petrol or 2 rupees costly for diesel. Today, when tomato prices go to 300 rupees, you have television anchors who will do special shows to tell you why you should not eat tomatoes because they cause kidney stone. That's the level of media, and those are the kind of shows that is happening. So let's not get there. You know, just to point out, it is not as if we don't protest. It is not as if we don't do mass movements. The media chooses to block us out. Manipur has been burning for 5 months. The army and the police are at war with each other. Children have been killed 4 days back. Have you seen a single media show on that? Forget about anything else. The biggest mass movement that independent India has seen is Bharat Jodo Yatra. Will you be surprised if I tell you that the media chose to black out Bharat Jodo Yatra till it became too big? And even then when they covered it, they only covered it the day BJP made some or the other controversy around it. They did not cover the Bharat Jodo Yatra and telling that here is a man walking 4,500 kilometers, even at the cost of his own personal life and liberty. I mean, please understand, what Rahul Gandhi did during the Bharat Jodo Yatra was putting himself out there at grave risk to his own life. He has seen his grandmother being blown up, he has seen his father being smothered to pieces, and still he chose to walk, and some of you have seen it. Anybody could have entered the fray and met him. So the media did not show it. I think, while I agree with your point that we perhaps need to do a lot more of it, but where I want you to understand is a lot of what we do doesn't get reported like it was happening pre-2014. I was a journalist then, and I remember the number of shows that happened on price rise, on the alleged irregularities in governance. 7 CAG reports have come. Have you seen one TV channel debate half of that report? Not one. Have you seen a primetime show on inflation? Have you seen a primetime show on unemployment? Have you seen a primetime show on the Adani Mars scam? Not one. Why? Because the media will explain to you, tomatoes have become very expensive, it's a blessing in disguise, those cause kidney stones, please don't eat them. That's the level of media discourse. But I take your point.
Yes, go ahead.
Ma'am, thank you for speaking on this important topic. What I want to know is, what is your stand or what action do you take when your functionaries and leaders do the same thing that the other... It doesn't happen very often, but it has happened when your leaders and functionaries also share fake news at times on media. So what action do you take?
So there are 2 kinds of things that happen. One is you inadvertently get something and you think that's true and you put it out without a malafide intention. You know, I get a forward where a woman is being beaten up and I'm enraged and I put it out, and then I get to know, you know, it's not new, it's old. I delete it and I seek forgiveness. I think if at all Congress leaders or my colleagues have done it, it's largely that. But fake news that one knows is fake, that one knows where a video is being manipulated, is being cut, you know, different portions are being joined. What is the biggest video that they used to smear Rahul Gandhi's reputation? Alu dalo sona niklega. Kisne bola tha wo? That was Mr. Modi's statement in Rajkot when he said, "Hum Rajkot ko aisa bana denge ki aap alu dalenge aur sona niklega." And for a very long time, I think the Congress was too dignified, the Congress was too perhaps graceful to not talk about it. But when some of us took charge and we were very enraged, so when we started speaking about it in television debates, that video has gone off. Now they don't share that video because they know the moment they do it, we'll say, Modi ji ne bola tha. So, I mean, you know, an inadvertent error, even if done by the BJP, I can understand. But an error where you are consciously sitting and creating fake news, with an intention to divide, with an intention to deepen a prejudice, with an intention to create communal disharmony, that is dangerous, and that is being done.
Yeah.
Yes.
Supriya ji, anytime
have you come across any allegation or incident about fake news by BJP on other parties, political parties, opposition parties, other than Congress? Or if Congress, it is there. Please tell me.
The one thing that the BJP can never say, and I have now been here for long enough, I have never heard the BJP say that we lie, because we don't. And I speak about it with a lot of courage. I speak about it with honor. We don't lie. You don't need to lie when you've got facts, when you've got the truth on your side. The BJP never says we lie. The BJP can say 10 things to us. They'll put out some picture and say we were doing this with this person, we were doing this with that person, totally out of context. They may put a Sheila Bhatt's picture and say it's me with Daud when I was 10 years old. They can do all of that. They can never say that my party and my leadership lies, because we don't. Because we strongly believe there is nothing absolutely greater and more potent than truth itself. You don't need to lie. There is so much of truth that they can't face. You start showing them the truth, they'll start running away.
Yeah, hello ma'am. Okay.
Sorry? नहीं, मुझे नहीं लगता कोई दूध का धुला हुआ है यहाँ पर. मैं तो अपने आप को भी नहीं कह रही हूँ दूध का धुला, लेकिन जहां तक मैं जानबूझकर ऐसा कोई काम नहीं कर रही हूं जिससे मुझे पता है कि इससे दंगे होंगे, इससे नफरत भड़केगी, इससे दो लोग लड़ेंगे, वो फेक न्यूज नहीं है. गलती से गलती हो जाना मैं समझ सकती हूं. आपके पास कोई वीडियो आ गया, आपको किसी ने कहीं से भेज दिया, आपने गलती से चला दिया, आपने अन्याय दिखाने के लिए चलाया, आपने वीडियो इसलिए चलाया और बार बार ग्रुप्स में डाल के चलाया कि उससे एक आदमी की लिंचिंग और हत्या हो जाए, उसके खिलाफ तो मैं पुरजोर तरीके से बोलूंगी. वो हम नहीं करते हैं सर.
Yes, hello ma'am. My name is Subhash. I reside nearby Kukatpalli, nearby where is the BJP party command has been command has been residing the BJP party office.
थोड़ा
So,
सा पास लेकर बोलिए, कुछ समझ में नहीं आया.
Okay. So I am Subhash ma'am, residing in Kukatpalli, nearby the BJP office command. I am residing nearby that only. So frequently we'll be having the discussions. Like here I'll be stating that okay, BJP is a communal party, you're anti-Muslim. I'll be coming up with the reasons. So during in the meantime, like around 6 months ago, when having the same conversation with one of the leaders over there, so he pointed out that okay, ours is a communal party, we do agree with that, but why don't you give same status to the Congress, who has been alliance with the communal parties in 2021 assembly elections. Like in Kerala, you are with IUML, Indian Union Muslim League, which is a communal. Again with the West Bengal, which is stating it as Secular Democratic Front, which is a communal Muslim party. And in 2004, now you are saying that, okay, MIM OIC is dividing the Muslim votes, is the mascot of BJP. But the main raise of the OIC brothers are from 2004, which is from the Congress leader Y.S. Rajshekar Reddy, who had supported...
You've taken a long time. What's your question?
Yeah, that's I'm coming to the point. So they are coming with those type of questions. Because of the YSR mascot only, the OIC brothers who are having 4 seats now have came to 7. From 1 MPC, they are going to regain the party in Aurangabad, even in Bihar also, because of the Congress support from the YSR.
Question, please.
Yeah, that's my question. So what do you say about that? Okay, allegations that BJP pretending is it's a pro-Muslim party. Because of that only, the Hindu votes are being congested. What is the answer from this your side?
That's a completely stupid allegation of the BJP that I choose not to answer. I am not going to give them credence by answering that question. Who is the BJP to give certificates to political parties, and especially us, on issues of nationalism, patriotism and secularism? They're the last people I need a single lesson from as far as nationalism, patriotism and secularism is concerned. And I rest the matter there.
Enough, you've had your time.
Yeah, but again they are saying
friends,
that once
I
again
just
they're
want to
having
ask
the
you
mind-
one question. Is there anyone here who wants to ask a question which is not BJP versus Congress? You were talking about fake
on
news.
fake news.
Who has a question other than Sanjay?
That's what I said. I mean, who are they to give out certificates? And
Supriya, thanks. This is Sanjay here. Wonderful work you've been doing and actually fighting back the way you have done.
Thank you.
Congratulations and keep it up.
Question?
But the question that I have is, I fail to see the southern thought and the more mature thinking coming inside the narrative of what the Congress also speaks. We seem to be totally dependent on the North Indian version of thinking and analysis of all the points in most of the social media. Why don't you, for example, have something with Dhanya's program, a News Minute? Have a panel which...
Where is Dhanya? We decided to do an interview, we just didn't find the time to, but I promise
Please
you
do
I
that
will.
immediately. Yeah. Or some of the more natural people, in fact we have been watching is called Anand Singh, or all these particular guys. So we want democratic thinking also to emerge in this entire space. Because I'm seeing that most of the content that comes in through the print as well as this media seems to be too North India centric.
Supriya's got the drift.
I want the balance.
I got your question. I mean, with all due respect to both the North and the South, I come from the North. I think the South has different sensibilities. I think the issues are discussed and debated differently here than they are in the North. But as far as your comment about doing conversations with journalists here is concerned, absolutely, by all means. I think it's tyranny of distance. One lives in Delhi and doesn't happen, but happy to do it. I mean, I am actually doing something with a bunch of people in Telangana soon.
No, Sanjay.
Sanjay. No,
Over.
nothing.
Can we have this young lady here?
I wanted to quote Sophocles. In any argument, truth is always the strongest argument, and that goes along with Satyameva Jayate. Let us remember that.
Thank
and
you.
please continue that.
Thank you.
The young lady here wanted to ask a question. Not Congress, BJP, I hope.
Are you going to take any legal action against the people spreading fake news?
So we do take legal action every now and then, but ironically, the law of the land is a little vague on fake news. So if a fake news is slanderous against me, I can take action. If it's against somebody else, a leader or somebody else, I can't. The law is very vague there. I also want to say one thing here. I think as far as fake news is concerned, social media platforms, digital media platforms also need to take more proactive action. You send them the worst of pictures that they morph of you, your leaders, Gandhi or Nehru. I have been trying to file a case against someone who's consistently speaking against Gandhi on pictures like these. The courts don't entertain it. So yeah, we try and do legal action. It's not all that easy because the law somehow doesn't veer towards helping those who want to raise their voice against fake news.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, so the question is on the topic you have discussed today, that is fake news. So there should be a line between fake news and freedom of speech or hate speech, whatever it is. And that line should be free of any kind of prejudice that you also mentioned. So you have worked as a journalist and you're in the policy subjective matter right now. So how do you think we ensure that line between fake news or hate speech and freedom of expression is free of every kind of prejudice that is available there and be it the government or anybody? So how do you think we achieve the consensus? So
you have absolute freedom of speech, but your freedom of speech ends where my nose begins. Your freedom of speech cannot create disharmony against me. Your freedom of speech cannot make me target of racial, sexual, communal slurs. Your freedom of speech cannot be dividing people. There is a reason why there are riders and our rights are not absolute. Because your right is absolute for you, but it ends where my nose begins. I can't keep saying something against an individual and say, this is my right. No. My right is to express my opinion as long as it doesn't hinge upon your right of expression and your right of free speech. The moment I encroach upon that, I have no right to free speech at all.
Hello. That'll be our last question.
Ma'am, namaste. मैं कई दिनों से आपका सोशल मीडिया पेजेस को मैं फॉलो करते आ रहा हूँ.
Standing there.
मैम यहाँ पे.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi. Yeah, I can see you.
मैम, कांग्रेस में कई सारे नेता लोग हैं जो देश के लिए कुर्बान किए. मुझे नहीं लगता है कि आपकी सोशल मीडिया आप आने के बाद भी ऐसे महान नेताओं की इतिहास और साथ साथ उनका योगदान देश के निर्माण में जो हुआ था वो आज की युवा पीढ़ी के सामने रखने में आप ज़्यादा कोशिश करने का आवश्यकता है. मैं आपको ये कहने के लिए
नहीं, आपके भाव का मैं स्वागत करती हूँ और इसका मैं सम्मान करती हूँ. मैं आपसे एक ही रिक्वेस्ट करूंगी, आपका जो सुझाव है वो सर आंखों पर। आईएनसी हिस्ट्री एक पेज है और एक ट्विटर हैंडल है, आईएनसी के अलावा उसको भी फॉलो करिएगा। वहाँ पर हम बहुत सारे प्रसंग, वहाँ पर हम बहुत सारे एसेज, वहाँ पर हम बहुत सारी हिस्टोरिकल बातें, स्पेशली उन लोगों के बारे में जिन्होंने इस देश के लिए कुर्बानी दी है, डालते हैं। और ये विडंबना ही है कि वो सब कांग्रेस के ही लोग हैं।
और सिर्फ व्यक्तियों के बारे में नहीं है, योजना के भी।
आप उस पेज को फॉलो करके मुझसे कांटेक्ट करिएगा।
थैंक यू।
थैंक यू।